The words hung in the air like a thick fog, and for the first time in his life, James knew that everything he thought he knew about the world was about to be shattered. "I don't want this," he muttered, more to himself than to Ifoma. "You don't get to choose, James," she said softly. "The shadows are already here, and they're not leaving until they get what they came for." As James walked away from the encounter, the weight of his fate hung heavy on his shoulders. There was no turning back now. He had no choice but to embrace this new world, whether he was ready or not. The shadows were closing in, and they weren't just after his sister anymore. They were after him. The sun had barely risen when James received the call that changed everything. The voice on the other end was familiar but distant. "It's time, James. You need to be ready." It was Ifoma. James's mind raced as he listened to her words, but a small part of him wondered if it was all some twisted game. Could he trust her? Could he trust the mark on his wrist? "Meet me at the shrine," she said, her tone urgent. "We have much to discuss, and you must face what lies ahead. The shadows are gathering, and they won't wait for you to be ready." James hung up the phone, the gravity of her words sinking into him. This wasn't just a mystical ritual or an adventure, this was real. He could feel the shadows moving closer, as if the dark forces had sensed his hesitation and were closing in. The journey to the shrine was not easy. Lagos, with all its noise and constant movement, felt strangely distant as James navigated through the quiet roads leading him into the outskirts of the city. The closer he got, the heavier the air seemed to become. The city's vibrance felt like a distant memory, replaced by a cold, oppressive atmosphere. When he arrived, Ifoma was already there, standing before the shrine, her silhouette framed by the low-hanging branches of ancient trees. "This is where it all begins," she said, her voice now softer but tinged with the weight of destiny. "The shrine is a place of power. Here, you'll learn what you need to know." James stood at the entrance, uncertainty creeping into him. What was he really getting into? His gaze fell to the mark on his wrist again, and for the first time, he saw something different in it, a deep, consuming power that had only just begun to awaken. "You're not ready," Ifoma's words cut through his thoughts. "But you will be. It's in your blood. Your destiny is to hunt what lurks in the shadows, and to protect what remains." Before he could respond, the ground beneath them began to tremble, faint at first but growing stronger. It was as though the earth itself was protesting against what was about to happen. The shadows around them seemed to grow darker, thicker, as if a malevolent presence was watching. "The first test is coming," Ifoma said, her tone sharp, her body tense as the energy in the air shifted. "Stay focused, James.